For the past several years, the tech world has been whisper quiet about a machine that once stood as the ultimate symbol of Apple's desktop dominance. We've seen the Mac Studio rise, the Mac Pro transition to silicon, and the 24-inch iMac bring a splash of color to our desks. But one name has been conspicuously missing from the lineup: the iMac Pro. Since the Space Gray Beast was discontinued in 2021, professional creators have been forced to choose between the clutter of a modular setup or the limitations of a smaller screen. But as we move deeper into 2026, the silence has finally been broken. The leaks coming out of the supply chain aren't just minor updates. They're pointing toward a total resurrection of the all-in-one powerhouse. We're talking about a machine that doesn't just fill a gap in the market, but aims to redefine what a workstation can be in the era of artificial intelligence and 8K cinema. Welcome back to my channel Tech Rivet for exclusive insights into the future of tech. Subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon for more tech updates. The story of the 2026 iMac Pro begins with a screen that is rumored to be so advanced, it makes the current studio display look like yesterday's news. For years, the 27-inch form factor was the gold standard, but the demands of modern workflows have outgrown it. Leaks suggest that Apple is finally moving to a massive 32-inch panel, mirroring the size and resolution of the Pro Display XDR. But it's not just about the size, it's about the underlying technology. While many were hoping for OLED, the latest intelligence suggests Apple is sticking with a refined mini-LED architecture for the Pro desktop. Why? Because for a machine designed to sit on a desk and run static editing interfaces for 10 hours a day, OLED burn-in remains a liability that Apple isn't willing to risk for its high-end professional users. Instead, this new 32-inch beast is expected to feature thousands of local dimming zones, delivering near OLED contrast with a sustained brightness of 1,600 nits that will make HDR color grading a transformative experience. But a beautiful screen is useless without the muscle to drive it, and this is where the 2026 iMac Pro gets truly terrifying for the competition. We are standing on the precipice of the M5 generation of Apple Silicon. Reports indicate that the internal codenames for these machines are already appearing in developer logs, and they aren't just using the standard M5 chip. The iMac Pro is expected to skip the entry-level silicon entirely, offering configurations that start with the M5 Pro and scale all the way up to a monstrous M5 Max variant. Some even whisper about an M5 Ultra configuration, though thermal management in an all-in-one chassis remains the biggest hurdle for that specific dream. To handle the heat of an M5 Max chip, rendering complex 3D scenes, or compiling millions of lines of code, Apple is reportedly redesigning the internal cooling system from the ground up. We are looking at a thicker, more industrial chassis than the razor-thin 24-inch model, likely incorporating a vapor chamber cooling system similar to what we've seen in high-end gaming laptops and servers. This isn't a computer designed to look pretty on a kitchen counter. It's a stealth wealth workstation designed to stay silent under loads that would make a MacBook Pro scream. Connectivity has always been a sore point for all-in-one users, but the 2026 leaks suggest a major shift in philosophy. This machine is rumored to be the first Mac to fully embrace Thunderbolt 5. With bidirectional bandwidth of up to 80 gigabits per second and a bandwidth boost of up to 120 gigabits per second for high-performance displays, the iMac Pro will become the ultimate hub for external storage and peripherals. Imagine connecting a full RAID array, multiple 6K displays, and high-speed networking all through a single machine that only has one power cable coming out of the back. It's the dream of the clean desk professional finally realized without compromising on I/O. And speaking of that power cable, the 2026 model is expected to bring back the premium braided cables we love, but with a higher power delivery capacity to feed the power-hungry M5 architecture. The design language of the new iMac Pro is where Apple is expected to flex its aesthetic muscles. Forget the white bezels and pastel colors of the consumer line. The 2026 Pro is rumored to return to its roots with a deep space black finish, the same sophisticated HT-absorbing coating used on the latest MacBook Pros. The bezels are expected to be drastically reduced, giving the illusion of a floating 32-inch window into your work. There's also talk of a redesigned stand that offers height adjustability as a standard feature, rather than a $400 upgrade. Though knowing Apple's history, that remains one of the more optimistic rumors. More importantly, the integration of Face ID into the Mac desktop has been a long-requested feature. And with the extra room in a 32-inch enclosure, 2026 might finally be the year we stop typing passwords and let the machine recognize its owner the moment they sit down. The Pro and iMac Pro isn't just about the hardware. It's about the software synergy. As Apple pushes deeper into Apple Intelligence and on-device AI processing, the M5 series chips are being built with specialized neural engine cores that are orders of magnitude faster than their predecessors. For a video editor, this means real-time rotoscoping and object removal in 8K. For a developer, it means local LLMs helping write code without ever sending a byte to the cloud. The iMac Pro is being positioned as the ultimate AI development station, a machine that has the unified memory capacity to hold massive datasets while keeping the footprint small enough to fit in a home office. We are looking at memory configurations that could start at 32 gigabytes and go as high as 192 gigabytes of unified memory, effectively erasing the bottleneck between the CPU and GPU that plagues traditional PC workstations. Pricing and availability are always the hardest part of the equation to swallow. The iMac Pro has never been affordable, and the 2026 model won't be an exception. With a 32-inch mini LED panel and M5 Max internals, analysts are predicting a starting price in the neighborhood of $3,999, scaling up significantly as you add storage and RAM. While that sounds steep, when you compare it to the cost of a Mac Studio plus a Pro Display XDR, the iMac Pro actually starts to look like a bargain for the professional who wants everything in one box. The release timing is pointing toward a late 2026 window, possibly a special One More Thing in an October event, or a spring 2027 launch if there are delays in the 32-inch panel production. The question everyone is asking is, why now? Why bring back the iMac Pro when the Mac Studio is doing so well? The answer lies in the evolving nature of work. The prosumer market is exploding. Creators who moved to laptops during the pandemic are finding that they need more screen real estate and more sustained power for their home setups. But they don't want the complexity of multiple boxes and cables. The iMac Pro 2026 is an apology to the users who felt abandoned when the 27-inch iMac was killed off. It is a statement that the all-in-one isn't a dying breed, but rather the ultimate expression of Apple's "it just works" philosophy applied to the most demanding tasks imaginable.